Big build up there, wasn't it? I don't have any slides from places where I've lived or where I was born or where I was raised. So, no Texas hats, no fjords. I'll share this picture with you. This is me when I was a kid at school. I wasn't the worst learner in the world, but also I wasn't the best learner. The only reason why I went to school was to hang around with my mates and play football at playtime. And then, I think some of it's down to this, because the way that I was taught back in the a few decades ago was about this. It was about sitting down and concentrating on the chalk and talk. And it was really just chalk and listen rather than talking. Now, if we had things like, I don't know, super movers with us in those days, I might have been a bit more engaged in my learning. And if you look at the BBC Super Movers website, there's a partners page. I know we've got Ian from iMoves, they feature on there, which is brilliant. We've got some local boys in the audience there. We've got, I won't even name them, but watch out for Quester, okay? Watch out for Quester. So, when I became a teacher, it was kind of a surprise to my mum, my dad, my brothers, and my friends that this person who was a reluctant learner became a teacher in Keighley, of all places. The head teacher that I was working with at the time was absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. It was a first school, so we finished at years 8 and 9. Finished at years 8 and 9. Finished at age 8 and 9. So, because we had the three mountains of Yorkshire virtually on our doorstep, Whernside, Ingleby and Pen y Ghent, Peter, the head teacher, had this idea that we would do one mountain a week with 8 and 9-year-olds. Guess what we did on the 4th week? All three together, with 8 and 9-year-olds. Are we there yet, sir? Well, not quite. Okay. But what I'm trying to tell you is that children nowadays are not as physically active as they used to be, even in the 80s. And I think some of that is down to the fact that, as teachers, we're constrained by the powers that be above, whether or not it's DFE or Ofsted or whoever. And quite often we've got these big boxes. It could be maths, that's the big box, or it could be English, that's the big box. But quite often, other subjects, such as the arts and PE, get shunted to one side, because that's not measurable, or it's not as easily measurable as English and maths. So when I first started the Tagtiv8 program out, everybody said, "Wow, we really like what you're doing, but it's a crap PE scheme." And I said, well, actually, you know what? I've never once said it's a PE scheme. We'll leave that to other people. It's about using physical activity to deliver English and maths in a fun, engaging, active and relevant way. So, this little person, as in me as an individual, set up this small organisation called Tagtiv8, and I do consider myself lucky to be surrounded by good people, whether or not it's Ian and Rich from Move and Learn, or Andy from Leeds Beckett, and other people within the university. But with support, we're now in, how many schools? About 60,000 children and teachers using it, which isn't too bad, is it? This week I was in London on Monday, Brighton on Tuesday, working with 2 different schools, and then 12 hours drive back up north. Nice to get some Yorkshire schools on board. So when I first started the games, okay, I'm not going to show the video. In fact, what we'll do is I'll tweet it out later on with the hashtag Carnegie now. So the games are gorgeous because they go right the way from EYFS and beyond. So the games are developed with children and teachers. For example, I've got children here. I've got 0 to 10 scattered on the floor, and I ask the children to pick up a tag and take it for a walk, thinking they would pick up a tag and take it for a walk. But EYFS kids aren't like that. They pick up a tag and take it for a walk. Hey, my dog's the same colour as your dog. My dog's bigger than your dog, but my dog's younger than your dog. Absolutely genius. I'm watching these children and following their interests. So the games go from that end to this end. A bonkers school again. A school in Bradford who really pioneered the moving and learning approach. They decided to mash the word version with the number version to do active algebra. So the children have been physically fit, have been running around grabbing the tags off the operation, of the opposition even, putting them into the bucket, and then the challenge was, can you create an algebraic equation for others to solve? And you know what, it worked. the MVPA kicked in, and then the lower to moderate levels of physical activity kicked in when they were actually walking around and talking. And here we've got some examples of children just being absolutely gorgeous. Not sitting down, but taking the learning outside. Doubles and halves. Well, this girl here knows that half of 100 is 50, but she doesn't have 50. But she knows with the numbers that she has, she can do 52 take away 2. And then we've got children older, and they think, oh, I know what, I'll roll up the belt as a decimal point. This is pretty cool, because I've not told them how to do this. This one here, Castercliff Primary School over in Lancaster, or Lancashire, sorry. And I asked them to sort the tags that they grabbed in different ways. Unbeknownst to me, these children had been doing Venn diagrams the day before, and they sorted them by joining the belts and sorting the tags, the numbers. Kid at there, Yorkshire Sculpture Park, he finished the job and sat in the bucket. The kid down here, he's decided to dress like a Jedi. And he's linking those moves from train like a Jedi to what he's been doing with Tagtiv8. On the subject of children and code-delivering sessions, it just grows and grows and grows. This one is my all-time favourite of this week. This came from the school just down in Brighton this week. So the children grabbed the tags and the activities kicked in, and then I asked them to sort them out. And these children here have realised that they've got a few tags in the 7 times table, a few tags in the 5 times table. What a gorgeous way of describing and explaining their findings. Take the children outdoors as best you can. Rather than having the belts around themselves, the teacher asked the children to wrap the belts around the trees. And then they had to go and scavenge in the woods for their multiples. This girl up here, she said, we don't need a yellow tag. And I went, why not? And she says, it's where multiples of 6. And there's no odd numbers in the 6 times table. Would that revelation have been made in the classroom? Probably not. These children in Haringey, Lordship Lane Primary School, they decided that they would create a game using the tags, which are red for the even and the yellow for the odd. And they decided to make this game called Tomato Ketchup and Mustard. So they get like buzzing whenever they realise that their game that they created are being played by children elsewhere in the UK. So we've got quotes from children. With active learning, you don't get a chance to get bored, you don't zone out. Think back to Dr. Tom Corn's presentation there, looking out the window, looking at the clock. This, I wish I'd captured Carolina from Bradford at the end of the session. Carolina, did you enjoy that English session? Wow, English. I thought it was PE. And Kian from Keighley, bless him, a reluctant learner if ever was, that game was awesome. It takes a lot to get me to do that. And this is where the magic happens. A teacher from Durham, and co-presenting or co-delivering a session with him, he just said, I didn't know we could do that. And I said, what do you mean you've been teaching him for 2 terms? And he says, yeah, but he's never put his hand up in a maths lesson. And he's never written in his maths book. But he's just shown me there that he knows something about multiples and patterns. So, with that in mind, I approached Andy, or we were brought together by Gail, so thank you very much, Gail. And Andy and his team did some research, and it featured on Calendar News, which was brilliant, celebrating what we're doing. And the findings moved us forward in terms of showing that a typical 45-minute session increased MVPA by 9 minutes and reduced sitting down sedentary time by 15.5 minutes. That goes towards our childhood holistic plan of action target of 30 minutes in school every single day. And then Andy drilled down further into the results, and we worked out that actually there were some slight improvements. Not massive, because we're not going to make bold claims that are going to be shot down later on. We were realistic. It was a gold standard. Am I right in saying this? A gold standard randomised control test. Okay, so it was all done properly. And those small gains, if they're repeated over a period of time, will become large gains. It was the children who were, well, we asked the teachers to rank the children. Okay? And it was the children at this end who did better than the children at that end. Not only that, the children were then able to take that learning, that positive attitude to learning, into the next class. So as Andy said, we did a TEDx talk. I was so far out of the comfort zone. happening today. Normally I work with children and teachers on the same level. Seeing up there, it's kind of scary. So we did the TEDx talk, so we'll tweet it out later on. And we used the Michael Rosen poem that Ian and Rich shared, and we used the boxers' images to talk about the fact that we've got a narrow curriculum. And then lo and behold, last week, Amanda Spielman from Ofsted reveals the fact that in 2019 the Ofsted regime will change, and they're going to be looking at a wider curriculum so that we're not focusing on English and maths and testing only. Now, I'm not saying that Andy and I had a hand in that. It would be nice to think that Amanda Spielman and Ofsted watched the TEDx video and changed their policy, I'm not sure. On the subject of changing policy, we can take responsibility for this. Ian is the head teacher, part of the AHT, so we're working with school leaders. And we went to a conference and we were given a motion proposal, and all the head teachers and the school leaders had little voting systems. And lo and behold, 9 out of 10 head teachers in England and Wales, as members of the NHT, decided that they would pursue and encourage their members to look at physically active learning as a potential solution to health and education issues. Sadly, it was published in various papers, including the Telegraph, I will mention it. If anybody ever writes anything negative about it, never ever read the comment section. Because according to the comments, I'm an idiot, I'm insane. This man has no idea of the real world, and various other comments. So I think Andy might mention that later on. And the physically active learning approach